one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever.
Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Yo, something on my sleeve. Yo, one night I was watching this show, so I binge watched this new show. I don't know if it's new, but I binge watched this show called Only Murders in the Building, or Only Murderers in the Building. I think it's called Only Murders in the Building. I can't remember what it's called. It's called that. I don't remember if it's murders or murderers. You know what? I got you, bro. Don't even trip on it. Don't even trip on it. I got you. I'm about to look that bitch up right now. Right now. Hold up. Give me like a couple seconds. Only Murders in the Building. That's what it's called. But I watched that. I was binge watching that the other night. And as I was watching it, like I saw something like black floated all the way on me real quick and got like on my chest. So, you know, I'm thinking it's like a stink bug or something. So I'm hitting my chest and shaking off my shirt and I don't see nothing. I done sat up. I don't see nothing fall off. Come to see, it was just some shit from the fan. So, you know, the boy thought a stink bug hopped on me at night. I be hate, bro. One night when I was in high school. No, this happened when I was in high school. The lights in my house went out and my mom's crib went out and our house went out. And I remember when they finally, like, we had candles lit and all that. And when they finally came back on, I went to bed. So I'm laying down in the bed. And in our basement, we had a basement that wasn't used because it's got like a heating tank and all that shit in it. Like these, when it get cold, these big ass grasshopper looking ass bugs be down there, right? So I go to bed and my mattress was like 3 mattresses stacked on the floor. It was no bed spring. It was no bed frame. So I'm laying on the on my bed and my hand is out. And I feel something in my hand, like moving around in my hand. And I close my hand and I can feel it just jumping around in my hand. And my eyes is closed and everything, pitch black in my room. I say to myself, in my mind, I say, bro, this is one of them fucking hopping bugs sitting that you ain't got in your hand right now. I tell myself that like 3 times. I open my eyes, sit up, walk over to my light, turn that bitch on, open my hand, and damn it, it's a big ass hopping bug standing in my, bro. If you had seen my reaction, bro. I tossed that some bitch on the floor so quick and stomped on that motherfucker, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? My mama heard me say that shit, so she was like, you better stop out. I just told y'all niggas my real name. I might cut that because I don't like, I don't go, yeah, I'm definitely going to cut that. So it ain't even no concern for me. But my mom, so if you wondering why the video just might have skipped or something like that, I accidentally said my government name and it was no shot that was getting left in there. But my mom yelled, Saint, you, and when I say government name, I'm not even talking about the name that I go by. I go by Saint or J. Saint on here. I said my actual government name on accident because that's what my mama called me. But my mama called me and was like, Jay, you stop cursing in the house. And I picked up the bug that I had just killed and saw how big it was. And I showed her that and she started dying laughing. See, that's my thing, bro. My mama loved to laugh in my pain. I mean, loved to laugh in my misery, bro. I'm telling you. One time I don't even want to tell y'all this next story. But it's no shame in my game. So one time we had a crack in our back door, right? And our kitchen had the back door in it. Like our back door was through our kitchen. And so it was like a crack under it, like a hole in it. And we had like a whole bunch. We was getting work done on the back of the house at the time, like redoing our backyard. And so we had like a bunch of like trash. I don't want to say trash, but a whole bunch of like, you know, when people working on something, bro, if you don't hire professionals who get the shit done in like 2 days or whatnot, or like a week, then you're going to have workers. If you got workers who take like a good 3, 4, 5 weeks, they just going to leave a lot of shit outside. Maybe cigarette butts, snack wrappers, half eaten food and shit. Like they just going to leave drinks. They going to leave a bunch of shit out there. So on top of having that stuff out there, we also had knocked over some syrup in a closet and nobody knew about it at first. So one night I'm sitting at my, in my chair on Madden. And I don't know I don't know what made this, me see this shit. I guess I was on a timeout or something. But when I backed up for a second, a white mouse ran clean past my fucking feet. My guy. After I yelled and all that, bruh, I went up the street to my aunt's house and stayed with her for the night. You need to understand, I don't spend the night at people's house, bro. I prefer to be in my room, in my space, in my own vicinity, with my own vibes. I don't even like inviting people to my crib no more. I'd rather go to other people's cribs so I know I can leave when I want to. And when it's cold outside, like when it's snowing and shit, I'm definitely not going to nobody's crib, bro, because I refuse to get stuck at somebody's crib. I refuse to be... I done got stuck at a homie's crib one time, like a homie who wasn't even like, he was definitely a homie, but he wasn't like, if I had to rank my homies, he wouldn't have made the top 5. So staying with him that night was a travesty because I was finna say something. This motherfucker was a weirdo. Then I got stuck at another homie's house one time, but that was cool because all we did was smoke weed all night and play the game. So that was straight. And then I got trapped at a ex's house one night. I wouldn't even call her ex. I would just call her somebody who I was dealing with during that time. I got caught at her crib one night, and that was probably that made me realize I cannot keep going to people's crib when it's snowing and sleeting outside because this bitch is crazy. Like dead ass, bro. I was so annoyed. Hey, let me tell y'all before we get into the football games. I was watching a football game like a couple years ago. This when Joe Flacco was still on the Ravens. And this is when I lived in Durham at the time. I was dating this. Now this is when I was still dating women. This was actually one of the last women that I dated. I invited her over to my crib. That's how you know I was fucking with her, because I actually let her come to my crib. One of the first signs that I knew me and her wasn't going to work out, and I was very immature at this time. You got to understand. I was an immature dating type of dude, because I was at that point where I was just fucking a lot of people. But I was dating her, and so I was like, and this was fresh into the relationship. I want to say this was like probably a month in. But the reason me and her got to know each other, because we had the same class and we sat right beside each other every single day. So, and she having a baby now, so I'm not going to talk crazy about it. She having a baby with another dude. I think this is like, she is a good person. I'm not here to talk trash about her. I did her dirty. She a good person. But me and her, I invited her over to my crib one time. And I don't know why I did this, because immediately as soon as she came over, as she was coming over, I said to myself, fuck, man, the Ravens play tonight. Oh, she gonna want my attention. I don't really want to give it to her because it's nothing against her. I'm at this point in my life where I pay more attention to a football game than I will a female. It is what it is. And it wasn't because, you know, some dudes do that and it's just because they just really love football, yada, yada. I was doing it because I love football, but I was still, like I said, immature. In my mind, it was like, bro, I can have any female I want, bro. I could care less if she get mad that I'm paying attention to the game. That's just the headspace I was in at that moment. So she finally get there and everything going smooth and everything, right? But she keep getting mad because I'm paying more attention to the game. And I'm like, bro, we only play 16 times a year. You can be over here all the time, bro, far after these games stop being played. Like, I'm not missing these games. Now, it was kind of my fault because I did invite her over. But like I said, I forgot it was a football game. And if I had recalled her and been like, nah, you can't come over, then that would have been fucked up. So what ended up happening was she ended up turning the TV off. And that shit set me off. Like, in my head, I was like, I cannot believe this motherfucker just turned this motherfucking game off. As somebody was like finna score. She waited till my team was finna score and then turn the TV off. So in my head, I'm like, I'm fuming. I text my homeboy. I said, hey, bro, call me right now. I'm finna turn my phone on loud. Call me right now. I ain't have to say no more. He said, bet. Like 2 minutes pass, I get a call. Oh, yeah, you need me right now? Oh, yeah, I'm on the way. Fuck. I hang up. I'm sorry, baby. I gotta run and do something, man. She was like, you don't want me to just stay till you get back? I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna get back. That's the problem. I could be gone all fucking night, to be honest with you. And this how I hope she don't never listen to this, because she definitely gonna know who she is after this story. Like, she 100% gonna know who she is if she ever hear this story. Like, I got a lot of different stories that I can tell in a way that keep the female from knowing who I'm talking about. Well, most of the females gonna know who I'm talking about, but I can tell the story in a way that this story, she definitely gonna know who she is if she ever hear me, if she ever watch this show and hear this story. She definitely gonna know what she is. And this is gonna be tough because she might hit me. I hope she in a beautiful place in her life to where she hear the story and she could just laugh at it and be like, oh, that motherfucker right there, hilarious. I done better than him. I hope that's what happened, because I lied and was just like, bro, I gotta be somewhere. Bro, I did leave my house, went to another bitch's house the same night, bro, to go finish watching the game. I was in deep, man. I want to apologize to that woman. I'm not going to say her name, though. But listen, let me take a leak real quick, and we're going to get to the show. I am back. Sorry for those couple of seconds of silence. Anyways, we had 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. Green Bay let me down and they lost 22-24 to the New York Giants. Tennessee made me proud, winning 28-27 against the Miami Dolphins, meaning that the Baltimore Ravens are now hold the sole possession of first place in the AFC. You love to hear it. Which game we going to start with first? Well, I didn't watch the Miami-Tennessee game to the end of it because I watched the entire Green Bay game. So I guess I'll start with Tennessee-Miami real quick since I didn't watch that whole game. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I do know they had a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter. I think they actually had a double-digit lead with like the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter, like 5 minutes left. And they still found a way to lose this game 28-27. What I'll say about this game right now is I don't support Will Levis. I completely forgot this weirdo put mayonnaise in his coffee. Why? That just feel like some extra white boy nonsense that you do for absolutely no reason. That feel like some shit that white people would do just to solidify I'm white. You know? Like, I'm trying to think of something that black people do just to solidify we black. Like, pouring out, wasting liquor for the dead homies. I feel like black people the only ones really doing. I ain't never in my life seen a white person do that, unless I'm just forgetting something. Like, I can't even think of nothing that's extra black. Let me think of something that's hella black. What's something that my people do, man? It's a lot of things we do, bro. But it just feel like that's one of them things. Like, oh, I know. Black people eating fucking hog mogs and chitlins and then throwing hot sauce on it like it's going to make it taste any. I don't eat that shit. That's hella, bro. That feel like some old, you know what I'm saying? That's some niggerish shit right there. And I'm not saying the N word in the back. I'm saying niggerish as in that's what the niggas back in the day had to eat. Them was the scraps that they had to season up because Mass and them didn't want that. That's the scraps they got thrown. So I understand why some people still eat that shit. But it just feel like at this point, you don't have to eat that shit, bro. I ain't never seen a rich person have that bullshit. Like a rich black person, never seen them have that on the spread. I'm glad that that's a poverty they get themselves away from when they get rich, bro. On me. I get rich. My family is never going to have chitlins and hog mogs at a Thanksgiving, Christmas table ever again. Like, my mama need to go ahead and enjoy this shit while we broke because they had that shit at every Thanksgiving event. Because as soon as we get rich, none of this nonsense that they be having at Thanksgiving and Christmas and any of the holidays is going to be present itself ever again. All right, everything getting catered, dead ass. Like, and chitlins will never be on the menu, dead ass. It's just unbelievable. But that Will Levis shit, putting mayonnaise in coffee, bro, that just feel like, hey, I'm white. I do white people shit. Because that is 100% some white people shit. But nonetheless, they end up winning that game. Green Bay let me down, losing 22-24, and just a rough game. Now, I do have to remember Jordan Love gonna have. What really irritated me more so about this game is I do understand Jordan Love gonna have these games where he don't play particularly great throughout. He don't really play good enough to give his team the best chance to win throughout the entirety of the game. And mixed with the coaching, which I really don't have a problem with how they play. You know, one of the things that I think is really hurting Green Bay right now, for all the development and whatnot that's just transpiring in Green Bay, they really still need Aaron Jones, man. Aaron Jones not being there is it just hurt them in so many different ways. It did help get Jordan Love to where he needed to get to quicker. But man, could you, and AJ Dillon is a good running back, as is the other guy. But they are not Aaron Jones. I cannot emphasize and stress enough how much better Aaron Jones is. Aaron Jones is a top 5 running back to me. Not only do you take him away from the run game, you take him out of the pass game. I just feel like, and now I'm glad that Aaron Jones ain't there so he don't have somebody who he rely on all the time to bail him out. Like, it's good that he's spreading the ball around and whatnot. But once he get to this point where we know he can do what he's doing, it would be nice for him to have a safety blanket because his tight end and receivers are not complete safety blankets for him yet. He spread the ball around a lot. Not to mention Christian Watkins wasn't there, and that might actually be his safety blanket, but he wasn't there tonight. So I have to remember that when I'm watching the Packers and the Giants get paid to play football also. Saquon Barkley tried to throw the game away by fumbling the ball with nobody touching him at the end of the game. And the Packers scored on that. But they didn't get the 2-point conversion, and the Giants got down in field goal range and ended up winning the game because the Green Bay defense just played like complete shit on that last drive. One of the things that I noticed the last couple of weeks watching Green Bay, I noticed it all season, but it's really been glaring in my opinion the last 3 weeks. Devondre Campbell, as good of a player as he done been for the Packers, should not be running the middle linebacker position anymore. One of the things is they consistently have him like covering slot receivers and tight ends, and he always getting beat. I don't understand why they have him covering guys anymore. He had a play tonight where a good cornerback probably get an interception. He ran himself out of the play and let the receiver make the catch, basically. I done seen coverage linebackers. Devondre Campbell is a semi-hybrid. He can pass rush, he can tackle, he can play in coverage at times. I don't really think he is still as good in coverage as he used to be. So I actually think they need to prepare to draft a coverage linebacker, because the middle of the field right now for Green Bay get left open too much. I think that the pass game, and then you got to also remember Jair Alexander. I heard somebody say Jair Alexander's name the other day, and they said that shit all wrong. But Jair Alexander is also not healthy right now. So, and make no mistake about it, Green Bay did play a good enough game defensively, even though playing a good enough game don't matter when you give away that last drive the way you did. To me, what would have helped Green Bay more, though, is I understand they coming off of a big win last week, so people will look at this game and like, oh, Jordan Love got to be better. Jordan, how can you play this bad off of a big win? You still got to remember this is first year starting. And like I said, not having Christian Watkins, not having Aaron Jones, you lose both of his safety blankets. And so I really do, while I do think that he done got better because of not having Aaron Jones, in the sense that it's done helped his development. The team and the offense as a whole is not better without Aaron Jones, because it's plays in this game or moments in this game where you know Aaron Jones gonna get this big play. He gonna pick up this big down. That was a part of the game tonight that really killed Green Bay. They couldn't convert on third down. Aaron Jones is great at picking up the third down for you. So I didn't see anything from Jordan Love to make me rethink what I think Jordan Love actually played a decent game. But it's parts in the game where Aaron Jones, Christian Watkins, the two dudes who he rely on, they would make such a big difference. And it's another thing that Jordan Love got to eliminate this hitch that he got when he throw the ball. So Jordan Love, in my opinion, throw the ball a lot like Aaron Rodgers. He got damn near the same motion, the same type of the way they sling the ball out, how they get it out real quick, how so effortless the way they throw it. But he got this little hitch when he makes certain throws. And I think he missed on a deep throw tonight that he could have hit. I'm going to tell you something. If Jordan Love become ultra accurate and with the talent he already have on his arm, I think one of the things that's fucking up his accuracy at times is that extra hitch he have in his drop back or his delivery at times. And the fact that he don't have the cleanest footwork right now. Also, another example, look at Lamar Jackson yesterday against the Rams in the pocket. Look at Jordan Love in the pocket throughout the season. He not bad in the pocket. This is why I go at Russell Wilson. Matter of fact, screw Lamar. I'm not even going to use Lamar because Lamar was great in the pocket. And I was going to use Brady, Lamar, Pat. I'm not even going to use them because I don't think Jordan Love is atrocious in the pocket. Look at Russell Wilson early in his career and look at Jordan Love where he is already. Russell Wilson is a god-awful pocket. Like, he got some of the worst pocket presence, pocket awareness I done seen from a great quarterback. Jordan Love is not nowhere near as bad as what I done seen from Russell Wilson. Like, Russell Wilson just be running in the sacks, bro. It crazy. But it's things in his footwork and his delivery, that little extra hitch he do, that I think if he fixed that, oh, man, the sky the limit. I didn't lose any faith in Green Bay, though. They did hurt their playoff chances. But It's no point in me talking about New York, to be completely honest with you. They are not making the playoffs. Literally, them winning this game, like I said about the Patriots last week, hurts them more than it helps them because they have no shot at making the playoffs. 3 teams is not coming out of that division. They should be trying to lose games. Green Bay is it hurt them losing because Green Bay they got their quarterback. They're not trying to lose games to get a quarterback. They had a quarterback. They trying to win as they develop. So it was ultimately a good game. If you ignore those parts in the game that can get bogged down by no offense happening. But real quick, let's go over the games. Before I get into the next topic, let's run through these week 14 games now that we have all of them played. New England was in Pittsburgh on Thursday Night Football. They win 21-18 in Pittsburgh. Detroit loses in Chicago 13-28. The Rams in Baltimore probably had the game of the week this week. The Rams end up losing that game 31-37 in Baltimore on a OT walk-off punt return by Tylan Wallace. Carolina was in New Orleans. They get beat down once again. 6-28. Tampa Bay was in Atlanta. They win 29-25 on some heroics at the end of the game. Jacksonville was in Cleveland. Joe Flacco helped lead them to a win 31-27 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston was in New York. They lose to the Jets 6-30. Indy was in Cincinnati. They end up losing 14-34. Seattle was in San Francisco. They lose 16-28. Minnesota was in Vegas. They lose 3-0. They win 3-0. Green Bay was in New York. They lose 22-24. And Tennessee was in Miami. They win 28-27. I want to talk about Dak Prescott and how Dak Prescott is showing me what I really wish he had shown me a couple years ago. But, I don't rush greatness. Maturate and grow at your own process. But I remember 2 years ago or a year ago when I said that I thought Dak Prescott and it was 2 years ago where I said that I thought that Dak and those boys would take a step forward now because I thought they were the best team. They're going to make the Super Bowl this year. And they just completely regressed. Now, this is the Cowboys team that I thought I would see those years back. But they done Dak more mature. A lot of these guys more mature now. So I get it. I'm not mad at it either way. But this big win for Dak Prescott, I love it. This is what I've really been waiting to see from Dak. To win a big game against a big time opponent, a rival opponent at that. And it's a game of great importance. Right now, and I know this is going to sound wild, I like what I'm seeing from Dak a little bit more than from what I'm seeing from Purdy. Because Dak does not have the weaponry. Dak got good talent on his team, to make no mistake about it. But he don't got a Brandon Ayuk. I do think he got the best receiver. I'm not going to lie to you. I would take CeeDee Lamb over all the receivers in question right now for both teams when it comes to the 49ers. But I would take the 49ers entire offensive supporting cast over the Cowboys offensive supporting cast. I, however, would not take Brock Purdy over Dak right now. Dak Prescott, to me, right now, is playing an unbelievable quarterback right now. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Like, Dak out there killing it right now. I'm not going to lie. He made a throw to Michael Gallup. And the throw was great, but the fucking catch by Michael Gallup was insane. And if you got Michael Gallup going, you get Brandon Cooks going. CeeDee Lamb gonna ball out every game. We know what he gonna do. Whew. Dallas gonna be tough because this is why, and it's not necessarily that I'm giving Dallas the edge over San Fran. It's because of what I'm seeing from Dak. I'm seeing him evolve. I'm seeing him win these big games, become a sophisticated quarterback who can go into your building, who can win. And now he got some interesting games to end the season. I'm interested to see how he play in those games. But right now, Dak Prescott looked to me like a top 5, top 6, top 8 quarterback in the NFL right now. I'm not doing the rankings in my head, but if this is Dak leveling up, because it always felt like, remember at the end of last season, I said, man, I'm watching these games and the defense doing all they can do. I don't really know what more you need the defense to do. Like, I hate doing this because I love Dak, but Dak got to be better. It's point blank period. Dak have to raise his level of play in these big games. And I kept saying, like, what more can you give him? He got the talent around him. Like, at the end of the day, you have to throw every excuse out the window because it's no logical enough excuse can excuse Dak this team not winning that game last year. So in my opinion, when you look at the failures of the Dallas Cowboys in the playoff, to me at the moment, it's come down to Dak just have to be better. And I felt like he could be, but you got to go off of what you done seen. I'm so happy that Dak is now finding a way to win these games. And you know, what's a thing that's interesting to me is how people was real critical of Mike McCarthy when he fired Kellen Moore at the end of the season last year. And I wasn't one of the people who was critical of it. I actually thought that it was I actually agreed with his reasoning as to why he wanted to get rid of Kellen Moore. But I said, you know, a lot of people going to be hella critical of him now this year if they don't have a good offense and yada. The offense to me looked better this year than it looked last year. To me, the only thing that's wrong with this offense is they don't run the ball good enough consistently. But they ran the ball decent enough against the Eagles. The Eagles' run defense is not good, though. Right now, it should be Dallas taking on San Fran in the NFC Championship. But who knows if the Eagles can get it going again over these next couple weeks. Because if the Eagles win out, they'll still win the division. So it is what it is in that aspect. They still control their own destiny. But for the Dallas Cowboys, you have to feel like if you're a Cowboys fan right now, you got to be elated because your team just won a big game. I understand it. The only knock people could have is that it was at home, but I don't think that would be fair. That's why that's not one of my knocks. I actually think it's harder to win some of these games at home because of the expectation is you supposed to win this game because it's at home. On the road, you just play a little bit more free because you know they're not expecting us to win on the road anyway in most circumstances. So I think it's actually harder for them to win in Dallas. But then you look at the defense still doing what the defense played a great game, forcing Stephon Gilmore. My goodness, he locking it down since Diggs got hurt. But this team ultimately, I was reading something, but this team will ultimately go as Dak Prescott go, in my opinion. If Dak Prescott continue to play the way he planned going into the playoffs, it's going to be hard for me to see anybody beating the Dallas Cowboys. And I know people had heard how I talked about the 49ers over the. So some people are like, well, Saint, what are you talking about? But you know, the way you talk about the 49ers and yada, I understand that. But I always tell y'all, at the end of the day, it always come down to me when you got two great teams that's evenly matched. The ultimate outcome, in my opinion, will always be the quarterback. If you got two great teams, but Dak Prescott is if I feel like he better than Brock Purdy, then I feel like the difference in that game should be Dak Prescott making a play that Brock Purdy shouldn't be able to make or doesn't make. And at this moment, and I love Brock Purdy. Yeah, if you watch the show, you know how I ride with Brock. But just off of what I'm seeing, and you might not agree with what I'm seeing, that's cool. But from what I'm seeing, both dudes play the quarterback position. I feel like Dak Prescott is doing a little bit more. And it's not necessarily him relying on the system as much as it is him dropping back. And he is the system at this point, basically. He is why the system is running. And that's no knock at Brock Purdy. But Mike McCarthy is not Kyle Shanahan calling plays. And regardless of how you feel, my one knock for the 49ers, which is my knock on the 49ers every year, the last 2 years, I just don't think they use George Kittle enough. I really don't. I think that offense could go to an even another level if George Kittle was a regular in the offense. But they don't really use George Kittle the way he was used with Jimmy G. But to me, the evolution of Dak Prescott is why the faith is growing in. Why at least my faith is growing in the Dallas Cowboys. Because for me, I done told y'all multiple times, bro. Dallas got a great defense, but defenses do not win championships anymore. Defense in spots. So that was never gonna sway my opinion. Especially when you look at a defense like New York that had the last 2 years, and to see what no offense. Yeah, you just no mas for you. So seeing Dak, to me, at the end of the day, it was always going to depend on how far the Cowboys got or get was always going to be relying on how could Dak take the next step, bro. And when I say could he take the next step, I'm not talking about could he win a playoff game, yada yada. I don't believe Dak could go up and compete against those top dudes anyways. I believe if I see Lamar Jackson in a big game, he could come out on top against another great quarterback, because I done seen him win games against other great quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. I hadn't seen Dak Prescott win these big games against the top tier quarterbacks, the top tier teams on a regular, if at all. We just saw it. And not to mention, he looked comfortable doing it. It wasn't like it came down to the needle. And even if it did come down to the wire, it would have made no difference if he had a balled out in those moments. So to me, if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you should feel very confident right now. And I understand people will say, well, you got slapped by the San Francisco 49ers. That game was that game. This is not the same Cowboys team. It's not the same Dak Prescott that played in this game. The one fear, the one cause for pause that I would have when it comes to Dak is I'm not quite sure if this is the type of player he is yet. I'll know when the playoffs come around, though. Is he the type of player that can have these great stretches where it's not necessarily the team that he think about? It's just he have great stretches. But then when the playoffs hit, he looked like a different Dak. I don't think that'll happen because I feel like Dak is now at that point in his career where he understand how Dak Prescott know that he is a 10+ win quarterback a season. He know the stats that he expect to put up every year, and he know the system. Like he understands I'm a good quarterback and a system that worked for me. I know my players. I know the team. I know the city. I know yada, yada, yada. I am a franchise quarterback of multiple years at this point. You know what I'm saying? And a good one at that. Like, I think Dak better than Tony Romo. I don't care what people say, bro. Dak better than Tony Romo. If I'm the 49ers, listen, I understand you smack Dallas. And listen, the 49ers ain't scared of no team in football. However, the 49ers should not take their eye off the Cowboys and see how the Cowboys is now starting to get better with every game, it looked like. Because, like I said, the Cowboys that they played early in the season, the offense was not what this offense did now. The Cowboys they played in the playoffs did not look like this Cowboy. Maybe the defense did, but not the offense. And the excuses you can make before was go do it against a good team. They don't do it against a good team. They just did it against a great team. So they did it against a team with the best record in the NFL. So this win for Dallas is a very impressive win to me. Very, very, very impressive. I like that for Dallas. With that being said, on a quick little episode tonight, I appreciate y'all for actually, hold up. I actually think it was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Give me a second. I'm looking through the games to make sure that the player, if it was somebody as specific I want to talk about, it don't pop up. Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. Yes, that's what I want to talk about. Joe Flacco. I want to talk about Joe Flacco. My guy. You know, I was talking to somebody today. The Cleveland Browns, in my opinion, are a legitimate threat. Now, you might be saying, Saint, you talking crazy. And maybe I am talking crazy, but this is what I want to say. Joe Flacco is a phenomenal playoff quarterback. Joe Flacco now play with a team that got David Njoku, Amari Cooper, and a great defense. And a coach who I got faith in as far as how he call an offense. If Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns get to the playoffs, which I am almost certain they will do, I legitimately believe they have a chance to get to the Super Bowl just because of Joe Flacco. Now, I know you're saying, Saint, you talking crazy. Saint, you talking crazy. I watched this motherfucker lead my Ravens for a long time. And damn near every year we was in the playoffs, if we lost, it normally wasn't because of Joe Flacco. The bright spot was usually Joe Flacco. I'm telling you right now. And I know it's going to sound crazy. I don't actually want to see. Let me paint a picture for you. We in Baltimore. and Cleveland come to town. And playing the quarterback position is Joe Flacco, number 5 for the Ravens all those years ago. Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco. Now, I don't know how the fans is going to respond in that moment. I don't know if they're going to boo him in Baltimore. Is Joe Flacco at that level where it's just impossible to boo him as a Ravens fan? Maybe we stay quiet. Maybe we boo everybody around him. But I just find it very hard to believe that Ravens fans, even in that moment, knowing that we're going against him, is going to boo him. But I'm very interested to see it, if it have to happen. But could you imagine how juiced Flacco is going to be? Playoff Joe Flacco in Baltimore, something that we got to witness all those years. Now this motherfucker is back in Baltimore playing against us. This the one player in the court. This the one quarter other than Pat Mahomes. Well, actually, I don't even know because Pat Mahomes has never played a game outside of Arrowhead in the playoffs. But this is the one quarterback I know for a fact can go into Baltimore with absolutely no problem and more than likely play good enough to get the dub. You want to know why? Because he done played in Baltimore his entire career. He won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. He used to go. How many years was it that he was our starting quarterback? A decade plus. I just have a hard time believing, as loud as it may get in Baltimore, that Joe Flacco would go into Baltimore and just have an outer body, like he's seeing ghost. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man, and keep this between us. All right, don't tell nobody, bro. Just keep this between us. Don't go out there snitching and shit. Between us, just between us, family. Now, I do not want to play the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. I've been thinking about this shit all day. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, wouldn't it be the damnedest thing for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to lose to fucking Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns in Baltimore in the playoffs? Like, bro, it's been eating at my soul all day, and I had to tell y'all about it. And if y'all tell somebody else, I'm never telling y'all another secret that I was feeling inside, all right? But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. You could be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. I cannot wait till this channel blow up so I can start like, bro, I'm trying to tell y'all, when we become a bigger channel with a lot of people working with me, because it's always going to be people working with me, not for me. When y'all see what this shit become in the month of December, bruh, I feel like our best months is going to be December and October because of how much I love Christmas and Halloween. I used to hate Halloween, but now when I moved to Durham a couple years, well, it was more than a couple years ago. When I moved to Durham a while ago, the love that these neighborhoods I was going to in Durham have for Halloween was insane. The love that they was having for Halloween in Chapel Hill and in Durham was insane to me, and it just naturally made me like it too, or fall in love with that time of the year. Also, I always liked the fall time. That was always my favorite type of the year, but it was more so because I like the scenery, the leaves, you know, how it felt outside, the way I can dress. Now, you know, the women in the tights, but now I fuck with Halloween the long way, bro. I really do. I enjoy Halloween movies. I can't wait till they make another great. If you ever seen that movie, The Johnsons Family Vacation with Cedric the Entertainer, Vivica Fox, Steve Harvey, Solange Knowles, Bow Wow, bro. They need to make another movie like that, but make it a holiday movie, like a Halloween or a Christmas type of movie, bro. I'm waiting for another this Christmas, or I cannot remember the name of that movie. Matter of fact, I'm finna find that shit right now. Hold up, bro. We is not ending the episode till I find the name of this movie, this Christmas movie with DC Young Fly. Bro, I typed in DC and I typed in DEE, bro. I dead ass was about to type in DC, like CD Lamb. I was finna spell his shit out. What is the name of this? Almost Christmas. That's what it was called. Almost. I would have never, ever thought of that name. That movie, Almost Christmas, is fucking hilarious, bro. Absolutely fucking hilarious. That, oh my God, that movie had me. It's got JB Smoove in it, Kerry Hilson fine ass in it, Gabrielle Union fine ass. She got a weird husband. But nonetheless, unbelievable movie, bro. They need to make another one of those. But with that being said, I love y'all. I fuck with y'all. Like, subscribe, share. This ain't out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber, you out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.